Folks, we're all brothers and sisters here. How about a big welcome?
Thank you. My name is Marty Hittleman, and I'm the president of the California Federation of Teachers. It's really great to see you all here. When we were thinking about doing this march, this was our dream, that in fact in days like this you would all come out, from the United Domestic Workers, from the rest of AFSCME, from CSEA, from CTA, from all the other unions, the Teamsters. I'm sure I've left some out that are here today. UTLA, United Teachers of Los Angeles, who are part of AFT, United Farm Workers, California Labor Fed, the In-Home Supportive Services people, SEIU, Teamsters. So we're all here together to demand three things. First, to restore the promise of public education. We know that in the last 2 years, K-12 and community college have been cut by $17 billion. And now the governor wants to cut another $2.5 billion. We're also here to rebuild a government and economy that works for all Californians. We're tired of the cuts to social services that our people in California need so much. The in-home supportive services, Medicare, Medicaid, building the roads, building the foundation of California to grow, and finally to enact fair taxes for California's future. California is the 8th richest country in the world. We have money in California. Other countries can take care of their people. They can provide health care. They can provide adequate quality education to all. They can provide the kind of safety net that people need, and we can do that in California too. We have the wealth in California. It's just in the wrong hands. So what we need to do is start going back to the time when we had adequate taxing of the rich and the corporations. If we had the income tax rates that we had 20 years ago, we would be having another $4 billion a year in revenue to the state. If we taxed corporations, if we taxed the very rich, we'd have another $3 or $4 billion. Even the vehicle license fee would be bringing in $5 billion a year. We don't even tax oil when it comes out of the ground, as Texas and Alaska do. So we need to change the way California works. One of the things that we're doing on this march is we're collecting signatures for the majority vote initiative. That will make it so that the budget is passed by a majority vote. So no longer can the third of the legislature that does not believe in public services any longer require these corporate tax breaks in order to get their vote for a budget. So I hope that you all sign the petition. Come forward. I want to also introduce a few of our vice presidents. Mary Alice Callahan, our first vice president. Joshua Peshtal from UTLA, one of our vice presidents. And I especially want to note Dean Murakami. Where are you, Dean? This Dean Murakami, it was his idea to start this march. He's the one that pushed it. So you should all thank him for giving you the opportunity, giving us all the opportunity to tell the California legislature that we're not going to take this anymore, that this is part of a movement. This is part of a movement that's going to start in California and go across the country. Every once in a while, someone stands up. Someone stands up in a bus and says, I won't go to the back. Or someone marches to Montgomery. Or someone stands on a car in Berkeley and starts a student movement that goes across the nation. We're hoping that this march is that kind of spark that's going to develop the kind of movement out of California, across the country and across the world, that says that people count. People count. It's not just the corporations. It's not just the wealthy. I'll do it. People count. And I'm glad that you're here to be counted. Thank you very much.
You people out there, thank you, thank you, thank you. You made me feel welcome. And what could be more noble than taking care of someone when they're not they're past their prime, they're not hurt, they're hurting, their family is not there, or whatever. That's the most noble work there is. And the idea that this governor would cut 87%, I think there's a special place for Hades in that man for doing something like that. And thank you, UDW, for all the work you do. We love you.
Good afternoon. Is UDW in the house? Is UDW in the house? Can I hear you? All right, all right. Okay, this is the largest march and rally we've had since Bakersfield. And again, I want to thank the Corps walkers for their effort and support, and we need to continue to support their efforts. As you know, they're walking in the footsteps of a great person, Cesar Chavez, and as we celebrate his birthday today. Se puede, si se puede, si se puede, si se puede. 40 years ago, Cesar Chavez made the march from Delano to Sacramento for justice. Today, we're doing the same thing. And by the way, as a side note, and Steve is looking at me because he wrote a speech and I'm not using it. As a side note, he was one of the founders, not founders, it was his idea that we form this union of domestic workers. So we have a rich history with Cesar Chavez. Yeah. So we're on our way to Sacramento, and the weather called for rain. So last night, I was looking for something to wear, and I found this hat. And most of you know I don't wear hats. On the front of this hat, it says, "Game over."
Game over.
So to Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor, game over. Yeah. To the legislature, game over. Yeah. To the corporations who are getting the tax breaks, game over. Yeah. To the rich who are getting the tax breaks, game over. No more games. When we work together in coalitions, we have the teachers, we have firefighters, we have IBEW, we are all one. We are all one. We cannot continue to do politics the way we've been doing them and be divisive. We need to go to Sacramento with one single loud voice on April 21st and let them know we've had enough of the shenanigans and change needs to happen. Again, I want to thank UDW staff for the logistics, and I want to thank everyone else for coming out to this large rally, and we'll see you in Sacramento. Thank you.
Our next speaker is a man that I admire greatly. Yes.